From the nosebleeds to the studio, I'm your host, LJ. And again, we got my co host, Trey 2K. What's good, my guy? Welcome back.
What's Gucci? Happy Wrestlemania week.
Happy WrestleMania weekend. Unfortunately, I'm seeing you in another form of Lakers gear. I tried to,
You know,
try to downplay it for now since we're going to get into basketball a little later. I'm
absolutely. But I gotta say to everybody who participates, happy WrestleMania week. To who
Facts.
participates, happy Easter. To who participates, happy 420 for
Ooh,
who participates,
big
and
facts.
happy NBA playoffs for who participates. Big weekend.
Big, wonderful weekend. That is,
Absolutely.
yes, we love it. It is, it's the big four, as we would say. It's just a lot of, just a different one going around. We got a lot of good stuff going. Oh man, but I just want to say, this is and speaking on that note, just so much going on this weekend. It's a tough weekend for you. Not so much for me. The schedule kind of works out perfectly for me.
Been
Sunday, the match
stressing.
will play at 3:30. So I get to watch WrestleMania both nights clear. And I get my Sunday to, watch my Magic game first, get a little break. Then I got Mania at night. So I'm chilling. I'm good. But you're in a little
Yeah,
bit of a dilemma. So
not me.
uh kind of want to talk about that before we get into it. I know you might not be the only one. So, kind of talk about what the plan is for this weekend to try to,
Yes,
these
because
games
the schedule was not on my side whatsoever, man. So I've been stressing ever since I think last Sunday when I found out that all right, obviously Lakers are going to be the third seed. We've seen that Timberwolves are going to be the sixth seed, and I'm like, all right, well that game is probably going to be either Saturday or Sunday when I seen what day the playoffs started. So
Yep.
they released the schedule on Monday. Lakers play Timberwolves at 8:30 Eastern time. Guess what time that is? WrestleMania.
Yes, so man.
So the plan is, I don't know, I gotta stay off of Twitter or something, but the plan is I'm gonna have to throw up two TVs. I might get another 70-inch, you know what I'm saying, for the living room. Have two of them things going, because shit, I can't miss one. I'm telling you, I can't miss
I feel that. I'm mad at it. Like I said, for me, thankfully I
it.
don't have that dilemma. But I mean, it's game one, so if you got to miss on something, feel like you can sacrifice as much
No,
as it pains to say as a hooper, you know what I'm
not
saying?
for me.
But sacrifice a little bit of the ball for the mania if you got to do it, especially for this sake of this pod. But that's see what's going on. But all right. On that note, enough of this Laker bullshit. We'll get to that eventually. Another day.
That
No,
boy a
just
hater. Natural.
always natural. And speaking of right now, real quick, we got the Hawks and Heat playing. So
Oh yeah.
fuck the Heat.
I just seen your Magic beat up
And
the
my
Hawks
hate.
the other night.
Yes, sir. You already
They
know. Like I
killed
said,
them boys. The arena, yeah, man, that shit was shaking. For sure. Shout out to Magic fans. I was a Magic fan honorary for one day. Too
on
bad you still don't have that song downloaded to play.
no, yeah, that's I couldn't quite find it. That was a little difficult on it. But kind of copy. Not that I couldn't find it. Kind of
Sure there's some copyright, but
kind of copyright stuff right there. That yeah, kind of can't play with it on my own. I
you
gotta do
better
my
come
own
out with the remix, baby.
exactly. Got to remix the remix, and go from there. But nah, man. Let's get into it. WrestleMania is going to be a very interesting card for the weekend.
Yup.
Honestly, it
A little
kind of
underwhelming.
seems forever since they've done like it feels like they've been doing two nights for the longest, and it really hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
I still am a fan, but you mentioned for some reason this just feels a little underwhelming. Kind of has to be the
Yeah.
build. Excuse me. I think mainly for me, a lot of the like hype in the build was done very early on. So there was just a lot of like in between weeks where it's like, okay, we're just waiting, we're
Yep.
waiting, we're waiting,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
and I think that kind of like burst the bubble of anticipation a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of more or less what I personally at least kind of felt is a little underwhelming. I think they definitely noticed and they've tried their best to try to like make do on that. But you know, I would say,
Yeah, I don't think there was ever really a moment in this WrestleMania build that really just grabbed me and said like, all right, you got to make sure you tap right into WrestleMania. Because at this point, for me, it's like, all right, we had a little bit of that with the John Cena heel turn, but then with John Cena's schedule being so filled, it hasn't really seemed like we got anything that progressed that story along. Other than like, hey, why did you turn heel? Oh, because the fans did me wrong and they turned against me and they were never on my side. They're always wishy washy. Okay, but why did you do that with The Rock and Travis Scott? Like, what was all this about? You know what I mean? Like, I feel
yeah,
like they gave no follow up to that. Hey, maybe we see that tonight.
I,
Because tonight's the
that's
last day
yeah.
before Mania.
I think we
So,
definitely will see a little more tonight. And I'm with you. I'm with you to a degree. I just think the best way would have been honestly just to not have him until tonight.
mhm. With
As,
The
as
Rock.
no Cena, as annoying as that
Cena?
would have as annoying as that would have been, it's like all right, it's like all right, you
Because
kind
from
of
what he gave us, it wasn't really much. And then
it
honestly, that little showdown. Did you see
would
the
have been a little,
showdown between him and Cody?
yeah.
That was good. So I would have preferred maybe to see that and then something tonight, and that's it.
Hmm.
Because I could have done without all like the fans did me wrong and all that, because it's like, seeing it realistically, I mean, the fans are what made you at the end of the day too. So I kind of thought all that was bullshit. I wanted to hear more so about, hey, what's up with The Rock and Travis Scott. Um, but so I feel like that story is kind of disconnecting for me too, and that's the main story of this year. So to compare to what we had last year, I mean, last year we had a well structured story, probably around maybe late February, March. So we really had something to sink our teeth into with the whole Roman, Rock, and Seth and Cody storyline of it all. And they had a bunch of dips and valleys in between everything with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest too. So um, yeah, definitely. This year is a little bit underwhelming compared to last year.
Yeah. I mean, since we're on the topic, let's just start there. This is, you mentioned this is the biggest match of the night. It's kind of what this mania is built on mainly. Is Cody, the new John Cena essentially versus Cena versus the GOAT.
We're starting with the main event. We
No,
starting out hot.
yeah, no, I just kind of yeah, flow of things, how it works. Wasn't really the intention, but we already talked about it and want to go back. Um,
Let's get it.
let's get it. But no, this, like you mentioned, this is let's hope main event Jay Serrano doesn't make a new appearance.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that
Uh,
boy, you already know he's making an appearance.
well, I
You'll
definitely
know what happens. You'll know what happens when I either wake you up or or you'll see that shit Monday.
right, but definitely for this match, definitely the most excited for this match for sure. I definitely think Cena has to win.
Yeah, Cena has to
Yes.
get that number 17.
I feel like Cena get the 17 and make the
He
heel
needs a
turn just
win in general too.
he he, he got to make it justified. Third point, he has to win. He hasn't won in a while,
Yeah,
like a meaningful match at least. So I think all signs point to Cena winning. I definitely think that's the way to go. You can have Cody win it back, and
easily, because obviously
Cena
Cena's
wins
going
it back.
away. Yeah,
You know,
and
everybody loves Cody on the chase, so
mhm.
I think that's the
Yeah,
way to go.
Cody's way better on the chase. And then for me, the way this build has been, I'm not gonna lie to you. They did a phenomenal job, and definitely kudos at least to John Cena because it has made me like Cody Rhodes more. The
Yeah,
way that Cody Rhodes has held his own in the promo battle that they had a couple weeks back, and just the things that he's saying all the right things, and I'm just like, damn, it's hard to root against Cody Rhodes. So like as a fan that's buying into the product, yes, I want Cody Rhodes to win as my baby face, but as a mark, I want John Cena to win. Get that number 17.
yeah. I feel you. I think most people could agree with you on that. That one is kind of feel the same way. Yeah, Cody. I've been saying this for the longest. It's hard to do what Cody's done. Maintain the kind of fanfare he has as a baby face, as the kind of baby face he's been in
Yeah,
this era. Like that's a
he's been
testament to him
crushing his role.
at the end of the
Absolutely.
day. So he deserves it.
The merch
Doesn't
sales, the
mean that
appearances,
over for
the
him.
way
So
he holds his own in the ring as a wrestler on the mic, as a face of the company. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is doing the thing, and that's not something I necessarily seen. Obviously 10 years ago when he got released from the company.
fact, big facts, big facts. So yeah, this definitely going to be night two main event of which is which is the only thing about the two nights that I do feel is does kind of cause some controversy is like everyone definitely feels the Sunday main event is the bigger main
Yeah,
event,
this is of course.
and it's obvious by the way they book the matches. So it's like
Hmm.
as much as they try to defend and say, "Oh no, they're both the same," they're not.
They're not. No, it can't be. Can't be.
So
I mean, you think about it. For one, last year the what did the World Heavyweight Championship didn't even main event that. It was a tag team championship match. Excuse me.
well, that was yeah, that was
But
for
yeah, that was
sure.
the one that they went with. This year, Jay Uso wins the Royal Rumble. He's not the main event, Jay Uso. Um, so I mean, this year it's a triple threat match with what stakes on the line. Seth Rollins is saying, "Hey, the stakes on the line is who's going to be the soul of the company." So I mean, at this point, it can't be Roman.
Mhm.
So I don't know what they got going on with that, but I'm actually more excited about that match than I think than the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. To be honest,
Yeah. Well, speak on it. Let's get to it.
speak on it. But
Main event. Again, these are the only these are and two matches I'll get into. The next two matches I'll get into are the only matches that we know as far as where they are on the card.
mhm.
So I
Well, no,
figure,
now we know that Gunther and
like I
Jey
said,
Uso.
I was about to say, yeah, we were gonna talk about that after.
Mhm,
Yeah, those there's two other matches. The opening matches and the main events essentially got
mhm.
confirmed for
Oh,
those
okay,
matches.
yeah, yeah.
So
Hmm.
we got that. But
Which is
since we're
solid. Like this one, I'm really excited for. I feel like this one obviously has a better story built into it than I think maybe any other match on either day or either card. But I'm really liking the fact that they're intertwining, probably three different storylines. So the first storyline you got obviously the history between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
and
Um,
Punk, honestly, because
yeah,
remember the
and
Shield
Punk. Yeah,
started,
the Shield started
Shield
from
started supposed to be Punk's bodyguards.
yeah, exactly. So his mercenaries or some shit. So that's how it started. But you got the history between Seth and Roman, and then you got the history between both of them and Punk, and then CM Punk and Rollins, the beef that they had over the last couple of years, and then Roman Reigns throwing those subtle jabs at CM Punk, talking about needle mover and all that stuff. So it's interesting, and then now you got the Paul Heyman storyline. It's basically looking like the Jealous X storyline. If you've seen what
Yep.
happened on Friday, that shit had me
Yeah.
dead.
Nah, it's pretty great, honestly. Obviously, the Paul Heyman aspect of it is definitely the most interesting when it comes down to it. Um, I think the most interesting outcome of it all that I've heard. We'll start with that. Want to hear
Hmm.
who you got winning.
So who I got winning? I feel like the winning part doesn't matter. More so, what the outcome of the match would be matters. So for me, the outcome, I think Seth has to take it. I feel like Seth needs a win way more than Punk. He needs a win way more than Roman. And if anything, I got Roman third on the list as to who needs to win. And I think and I pray and I hope that Paul Heyman leaves with Seth Rollins. He
Mhm.
screws over both Roman and Punk.
Yeah, that
What you think?
yeah, that one is definitely. I was thinking similarly for sure. Um, I definitely think that would be the most entertaining outcome. Um, but also it would be one. Not that it wouldn't make sense, but it kind of wouldn't make sense from Seth's perspective because he's just obviously he's been. I mean, it will if his goal entire time was obviously to just be a hit, like to turn to the dark side or whatever you want to call it. But obviously he'd be a hypocrite throughout this whole, throughout this entire build, which I guess would be part of the ruse.
Hey,
Um,
I mean, Seth has always been a hypocrite, right? I mean, he was the one that called Shield of
we all are,
Brotherhood, and then he's the same one that stabbed everybody in the back at the end of the day too. He
and
also is the one who is calling Roman, you know, hungry for power and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, Seth is the one who turned Roman into who he is. So
no,
I could see Seth taking another turn. I think Seth needs something more to his character. His character has been, for me at least, very dry over the last couple of years. Obviously, he's great in the ring, and he's always like going to be a staple into whatever you got going on in WWE, whether it's storyline or whether it's in ring work or just carrying a title and making it mean something. But he's also been a little bit stale with the whole Seth freaking Rollins gimmick and the visionary and this type of stuff. And I feel like if he can have somebody like Paul Heyman get next to him, just the same way Roman Reigns got that rub and made him immediately feel more important, I think Seth Rollins really needs it because Roman Reigns is on the way out the door. I mean, and then CM Punk doesn't necessarily need that type of intrigue to him because he's already interesting just from picking up the microphone.
so here's the thing. It's not that Punk needs it, but and you know me, I'm not that I don't like Punk. I'm usually not the biggest advocate in him winning matches, just for whatever when it comes, especially just when it comes to who's getting put up against lately. I usually always got the opponent because I like him more. Again, nothing, not again, not that I don't like him or anything, but with that being said, I just feel like you got this whole main event. Him finally getting main event. While it is a storyline, it has to mean something in the sense of I don't see him getting that night two main event. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if
Well,
this
what do
might
you
be
mean?
like we talked about it, the night two main event really being the
Hmm.
real main event. So technically, he's still not getting what he wants,
And
but
he even made a joke about that when he
this,
was in
this,
AEW.
I still feel like this is the closest thing that he's gonna get to it at this point. Just with all the other superstars we got going on and whoever's next up, I just don't see Punk getting the going and winning the WWE Championship again. Maybe World Heavyweight one more time,
I
but
could see Punk. I could see Punk
I don't see
winning
him.
both of
Him
them. I could see him winning the World Heavyweight Championship in the immediate
at
future,
like at
and I could
Mania.
see him, and I could see him eventually winning the WWE Championship again. Doesn't necessarily have to be at Mania. I could see him walking into Mania as the WWE Undisputed Champion within the next 2 years or so. Because
That was my
obviously
point.
it's not like he has 10 years left. But I think the way the company
Main
views
event.
Punk is Punk. It could be either or. Punk also doesn't really need a title. So I guess I see what you're saying too. Punk doesn't necessarily need a title to be one of the most important people in the company. But I do see. I do think that the company can view him if it's in the right situation to be that night two main event.
That's the thing. I mean, it's definitely not impossible, but he's getting up there, and he's
Yeah,
not
he
like
is.
he doesn't. Again, he's not his. He was never a crazy in ring worker in the sense of he was like doing too much. Like he wasn't going crazy. Um,
He is a great in the ring worker
no, I'm
for
no,
sure. Mhm.
not saying good or bad. I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah, yeah.
his
Okay,
style is not
okay.
like over the top. He's not
Over
going.
the top. Okay, like
He's
okay,
not
yeah,
doing
yeah.
too much.
Doing everything high risk.
With that being said, he's slowed down. Like his pace is slow. His pace is at like slow to average. It's not fast,
Hmm.
and
And
he's
yeah,
slowed
that's
down
what.
from that.
Yeah,
So it's like there's not much when you look at him wrestle. There's not much time left, bro. Like he's not
I
gonna just
don't. Yeah, to be honest, I don't see
get
that point. I don't see that point. I see Punk as being a veteran wrestler who understands what he needs to be able to do in a match. Remember, he's not in AEW. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be doing all the different move sequences and things like that. All he has to do is work a match that's going to be able to tell a valuable story. And I
no.
think that Punk. Hold on one second. I think that Punk has been putting in some of the best matches we've seen on TV since he's gotten to WWE.
Is it the matches or is it the story? And that's my point.
It's
It's
and,
not.
and
It's
that,
not the in ring work.
but
It's not
remember what type of product we're talking about. Remember what type of product we're talking about.
that.
We're
Okay,
talking about
that is
WWE.
that is
If when
my
we're talking
point.
about WWE,
That is
the
my point.
storyline. But listen, the storyline in a WWE match heavily contributes to the in-ring product because within WWE, you bleed your storyline into the match, and then you begin to tell stories based off of your storyline within the match. So yes, I mean it all does blend. You know what I mean? And in the reason he's back in WWE as well, yeah, he doesn't have much years. You see Edge putting on stinkers of a match in AEW. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to work that style anymore. WWE is more well fitted for somebody like Punk who can still put on a great in ring match. But he
That's
doesn't
my
have to
point. He
be.
hasn't.
Yeah,
He hasn't been. You say he's put on great in ring matches. I have not seen it. I
I
since
mean, you.
since he's been in WWE, I don't see this as great in ring.
So you're telling me the series of matches that he's had with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins have not been some of the best matches we've seen on TV, Jay?
Not from him, not from his perspective, is my point.
Why? Well, not
Seth,
from his perspective.
Seth and Drew carried those in ring, like the work in the ring, they're carrying it.
It takes two to tango.
Yes, and that's
So
my point.
what's to say? Who's to say
It's
who did
not
who?
there because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in the in ring work.
I
He's
mean, I
slow.
guess that's from your opinion. I mean, I
He's
don't see
very.
that.
I mean, it's
I
not
don't see
not
that.
really an opinion. It's literally
I mean,
just
it
look.
has to be
It's not.
because if I think something
No, no, no.
differently,
You
and then
said
you
it
think
yourself.
something
No,
differently,
no. You
so
said it yourself.
how come
You
yours is
said
fact and mine's is
you,
an opinion?
you said it. No, because you said it yourself. He doesn't have to work as hard in the ring because of just the style
Exactly.
the style that WWE does. It's not. Of course, he doesn't have to.
And when he was in AEW, he
He's
didn't put
got
on some
limited
bangers in
capacity
Samoa
that
Joe.
with the limited capacity that he's showing in the ring. Name his last match. When was his last match?
He
He's
doesn't
barely
have
having matches,
name
and
Roman Reigns' last match.
they're not doing well.
What
And
about Roman Reigns, bro?
Roman looks great in all his matches. That's the point.
But what does Roman Reigns do? He's not doing too much.
No,
So to the same
that
standard of
is
what
my
you're
point.
saying,
Punk is
I
not doing
think
much, and he doesn't look that good in the ring. You can
yeah,
do more work
that's where
and
I
look
would say
good in
that
the
would
ring.
be it, your
He's not
opinion
doing
because
that.
I don't see that. I don't see that. You
I
know,
definitely
he's in the night
carried
one main event for a reason at least.
carried by everybody else in these matches, and we're going to see that again tomorrow. So
Maybe we shall see.
he was going to see him get carried again. And that's just my point. I said it when I seen him at the Rumble.
At the Rumble, and he got hurt. He was a little out of shape though, you know. But I think Punk has been a great worker.
He's looked a little bit better, but he still doesn't look good. Like,
I don't know, that Hell in a Cell match I seen him with Drew. I don't think Drew necessarily carried that match. I think it was both of them who carried the match through the storytelling of the match, through the in-ring work,
through the psychology, but not the physicality. Those are two different. I understand how it goes hand in hand. And that's what
I'm absolutely does. Like remember we know the ins and outs a little bit more so about
but
wrestling.
It only looks so good when you're physically not holding up to what you're supposed to be delivering. Punk's supposed to still be this badass, this supposed to be I can kick your ass. I don't believe it. When I see him, I'm not like do you really think Punk no, he's not threatening.
I do. I mean, it's always been the same. When has Punk ever looked necessarily threatening? Punk has always looked like an average guy. He's never been jacked or looked super ripped or anything like that. It's like, you know, he's always looked like the average guy. He looked like a, you know what I'm saying, like some straight edge dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he's never looked threatening. He's looked like a Jeff Hardy type of person. You know what I mean? Like you see him on the street. And you pissed him off. It's not like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna whoop my ass, like, you know. But for his in-ring work, I mean, Punk, he's a good worker, bro. I mean, we could definitely agree to disagree, you know, because obviously it's opinions at the end of the day.
You literally hear what you want to hear. I never said he's not a good worker. You're just not listening to what I'm. But let's just move on.
You saying his time has passed him by as far as in the ring, and I say I don't agree.
All right, we'll leave it at that then. All right.
Well, who do you got in this match?
I with that being said, I was saying I got Punk winning this because this has to be. Was my point. This has to be his win. I don't see him being main event in Mania next year. I have doubts physically he might even make it. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a very high chance he gets hurt in this match, just from how he's been. He's been very limited in his matches for a reason. And it's like every time he seems to go and try to go his full force, he gets hurt. It happened in AEW. It's happened here. He's taken all this time off. When he finally go full force, he gets hurt.
What about Seth Rollins?
And we won't see him.
Seth Rollins is younger than Punk, and he's had a lot of string of injuries as well, too. I mean,
but he's usually around when it counts at the end of the day. And, you know, it's just, again.
Yes. But for me, what do you think that where do you think the story goes if let's say Punk wins? Like, where do you think, because I feel like with this match, they have to come out with something that's going to be like, I feel like with Punk winning, that's too telegraphed. Roman winning, okay, that's too repetitive.
All right.
With Rollins winning, it's like, okay, it's something.
Yeah, let me answer your question. It's something, but then to your point, where does that leave Punk? That leaves Punk going nowhere. The whole point of this favor that we've waited so long for was for Punk to finally be, like we're talking about, the main event guy that he's been trying to be since he came back. This is his only shot to do it with Paul Heyman. If this storyline doesn't end with him with Paul Heyman and him going after Cena next, whatever the case is, and trying to get it there, then the ship's gonna sail for Punk winning the WWE Championship. I don't see because of what I mentioned, the age, the in-ring work to me not looking as good. Psychology still might be good, but that's only part of the battle. That's the same shit they're talking about with Jay Uso right now. Everything is good except the in-ring work, and all we're hearing is shit right now. And nobody wants to see that match, and Gunther should win, and blah 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 blah. People. Punk has a different.
I got something controversial to say about that later when we get to it.
Punk has a cult fan base, so maybe they're not going to turn on him like they do with that. But again, This has to end with Punk winning. If for him to have any
I like that perspective.
going
I
forward.
really do. No,
So
I really do like the perspective. For me, I just feel like it has to be something from that match, and I'd like to see Punk win. To be honest, Punk is I mean, obviously not my favorite out of the three, but those are probably three of my favorites that's out.
yeah.
So Punk winning, I feel like that kind of caps off whatever can really stir out of this storyline, at least just from my opinion. I feel like Roman that does the same thing. Seth, I feel like helps it just stir more up between Seth and Punk, and then stir more up between Seth and Roman. The real rivalry I want to see get a lot of time is Seth and Roman because I feel like we haven't gotten that in its
So
entirety as we really
so,
should.
so that's why Paul Heyman needs to win. If that
Or
if,
Paul
if that's
Heyman. Paul Heyman's in the match.
I mean sorry that's sorry that's my yeah. I mean Paul Heyman needs to win. He's with Punk. But Punk needs to win. That's why Punk needs to win because the only way to get that
Yeah.
bubbling to that point is with him winning. Because if this ends with Seth winning, then it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and Roman and Punk now have reason to go after Seth and be in work together again.
Mhm.
And I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean, I don't care
all from
too much
this
about.
has to be
Mhm.
like this shit has to end. There has to be some definitive, there has to be some shit to go on from here, like,
Yeah.
and I don't think going down that route would be the way to go, but definitely shocking, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
I need some. I need some shit that while I'm watching my Laker game and trying to keep up, and I'm like, oh shit, Lakers just won by 30, and Seth Rollins just turned on it, or Paul Heyman just left with Seth Rollins. Yeah, so I'm calling it now.
all right, fair enough. All right, so you got Seth, I got Punk, so go with that.
This is good.
All right, so we're gonna go with you mentioned it there. This is gonna start off night 2. We got Jey Uso versus Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship.
Is that starting night 2? You mean night 1 or night 1?
I read
Yeah,
night 2.
starting night 1. I think it's night 1.
It's the EO and it's the EO triple threat. I think we're starting night 1.
I thought EO triple threat was night. I think it's night 2.
I read
And then this is night
I
1.
read conflicting
You read that?
reports.
I think you read it opposite.
No,
But yeah, this is going to be starting that out.
yeah. So
Yeah, 'cause I think the goal behind it is to start off Wrestlemania hot with 60,000 people eating. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I thought too. But then when I was prepping, I got the opposite information.
Oh, but
So still up in
could
the
be
air,
wrong.
but either way, these are going to be the starters for
But
night
either
1.
night, yeah, either way.
So start with this one. I again clearly main event Jay. I got Jay winning. You say you got a controversial take.
Main event J from main event J. Let's get it.
Let's start
As it
with that,
should be.
of course.
I'm about to say, what up, twin?
What up, twin? You know.
But so my controversial take, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was very shocked and hype at the same time when Jey Uso won. But this all has been so lackluster for me
Mhm.
because I feel like Jay has just been it's too much of a entertainment spectacle, and obviously that's Gunther's point, as far as why he doesn't respect Jey Uso. Um, but I really didn't like the fact that a week after Gunther basically murders Jey Uso's twin brother Jimmy, Jey Uso comes into the ring, and yes, he cut a promo without all the yeeting and all that stuff. But for me, right, if somebody put their hands on your brother the way that Gunther put their hands on Jimmy Uso, is there any type of talking involved? You know what I mean? I wanted to see Jey Uso come out with some fury and just come out like unhinged. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like for me that was a disconnect because it's like What do you have to talk about? You know, Gunther just handcuffed you to the ropes and beat your brother's ass right in front of you. You know, at that point, you know, we got to get back to the Uso penitentiary days. Like, you got to get him. You know what I mean? Like, that was a disconnect for me.
I feel it to a degree. I don't know. I think when I was first listening to the speech, I was kind of but as the more it went on, like I get it. Because if you hear it, it's like, yo, he was admitting like, bro, there's a reason why he didn't do it. Like I was scared of you, bro. Like,
Yeah, but he was also handcuffed.
yeah, no, but
So
again,
he's
it's like,
saying you're not scared of him, but now,
but
so how
again,
come you didn't get
okay,
him?
coming out with a chair, we've all seen it. Gunther can slide out the ring, and that don't, you know what I'm saying? Like he can run away. That doesn't solve anything. You know what I'm saying? He
Hmm.
comes out gun blazing. Gunther's smart. Gunther would have probably got away, honestly, if he would have done that. Um, is not.
I mean, Gunther also let him walk right into the ring. You know, so I mean, at some point, I feel like Jay Uso needed to try to get his get back for his brother, because at the end of the day, that's his twin brother. He just said in his promo that his mom's like, "Oh, how come you didn't protect him?" And then you still proceeded to go ahead and not protect him. I feel like what Gunther did to Jay Uso ended up making things a little bit bigger than the title. So for me, what I mean, this is just from as we do is just like, hey, fantasy booking, you know, Friday night quarterback type of shit. But it's like for me, the way I would have had Jay Uso go, it's like, yo, just it's not even about the title anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like this is about defending my brother. You know what I mean? And hey, that title at this point is secondary, because now for me it just seems like, hey, the sport of everything is bigger than what just happened to your brother.
I'm with you. Here's the thing. What has been the biggest, or I would say, the biggest thing about them? Always the twins, right? Can't tell one from the other.
Hmm.
They're always attached at the hip. It's honorable to fight for your, it's honorable to obviously you got to get your get back. But to
Hmm.
the whole point, I think if they went the route that you're talking about, then that diminishes that part of the journey. Me finally separating from my brother, me finally being my own man, and stepping away and doing my own thing. Not bump the championship. Like I get what you mean, and I don't think you mean it really like that.
Yeah,
But
not
still,
necessarily bump the championship, but
but
at
it's
the end
not,
of the day, he was still making it about his brother. That's what the promo was about. You know,
no,
so it was still about him.
to me, yeah, to a degree, but because of up to your point, because he had no choice, he got handcuffed and had to watch his brother get beaten. But
Hmm.
the core of the promo that I got, and again, it makes sense considering he hasn't beat him up until this point, and all the talk on X and everywhere has always been, oh, why why is this the match? Why are we seeing it again? Why, like we've seen it so many times. Why did Jay win the Rumble? We've already
I'm
seen him.
almost. I'm kind of. I mean, I can't blame people for the way they think, the way they're thinking about it, right? Because it's
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
for me, it's one of the
That's
more underwhelming matches that's out
that's why
there.
this. That's why the promo to me was really fucking good. He's just admitting, like, bro, I haven't beaten you all this time because I truthfully I've been scared. My whole point, what everyone's been saying to me up until this point, I've been believing. Although I've been trying, although I've been yeeting, although I've been doing this, it's still in the back of my mind. Oh, I'm just a tag team guy. Oh, I'm not a main eventer, despite that being my name. Oh shit, what are people talking about? My match is not on the main event of night one or night two, even though my nickname's main event J. Like all that shit builds up into this insecurity that he's finally going to be able to you know, fucking accomplish and beat. The the brother is just part of it. Jimmy's just a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I,
I feel
I'm
like
sure
if they were gonna do that, they didn't
Jimmy's
even
gonna
need to
come
bring
out.
them out.
Jimmy's gonna come out during Mania, and he's gonna get his own get back. You know what I'm saying? So that way Jay doesn't get disqualified and Jay can win. Because I get you, Jay would have got his get back now, but essentially, what would that have done?
Yeah,
Nothing.
and also, what would be the point of Mania? I get that too,
No,
but like for me, I don't know. I wanted to see more out of Jay Uso. I know it was tough
he will.
by running the storyline back for, the fourth time, or at least this being the fourth match, I should say at least.
Mhm.
But for me, it's like I see a lot more out of Jay Uso when he was, part of the Bloodline storyline as the right hand man. And it's like for me, it's been a little disappointing just seeing like the whole Yeet thing because it has almost became like a major part of his character. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I get it's the popular thing. It gets people engaged. It might get people like viewers who have never watched the product be like, "Oh, who's this? Who's this that's coming out with a celebrity every single time? Who's this that get everybody in the crowd hyped and lit?" You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, is this the basis of what his character has been? And then
that's my
to
point.
follow that,
Change all that shit once he can win, make legit, and like
and then he's gonna be eating with the title. You know what I'm saying? Like for
that's
me, I
the
I,
main.
I want to see Jey Uso win just for the fact that I like Jey Uso, but storyline wise, I don't even see what's next for him. You know what I mean? Um,
Well, we never know until we try,
I
and
gotta go with Gunther.
we never know until we try. And respect, but if we don't try, then we're always gonna come back to this. That there's somebody who has the possibility of breaking out as a star. We don't give him that chance. Sami Zayn, LA Knight, all these people recently. Cody's the only one recently that has made it through all the bullshit. Roman, after he finally turned heel, but
I
we
thought
haven't
Drew
had anybody
McIntyre made it through.
when he
You
came
know.
back. But that's
Mhm.
against like again, it's nobody new. You know what I'm saying? These are all old. These are all old superstars left and came back or have been in the company a decade plus. We
Mhm.
obviously Jay is too, but like Jay was always a
Yeah, I
single.
was gonna say Jay.
He was always a tag team
Mhm.
star. This is
Yeah.
really his first time as a single star, and
Mhm.
that usually doesn't happen, or it doesn't
Yeah.
happen as well. Like I don't know. I feel like this is the chance to finally change the status quo a little bit, and finally, because if he can do well, then maybe like maybe we'll see more of these ancillary title runs. But
Yeah, I don't
it,
know.
these title runs have
For
been
me,
last
I don't think
year.
Jey Uso is gonna do it for me. And I like Jey Uso, and I'm so excited for him to win the Royal Rumble. I just at this point I don't see a path as to how he's gonna carry that championship. And the only reason I feel like there might be a chance of him winning is just to shake things up. But I don't know. I almost feel like I got Gunther.
Yeah, no, I got Jay, and again, it goes back
And
to
it's
my big.
like too telegraphed, and it's too telegraphed too. It's like
So,
I'm
so
I'm trying.
that's what Mania is about, though.
Yeah, and
Majority
Mania is the telegraphed one because it's about the feel
is
good
always about
moments and
giving
shit.
people what they want.
Yeah.
Member of the year, Seth and Becky won. Like, come on, like
But then remember the year when Cody lost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was that was recent. So that's what I'm
mhm.
saying. It can
So
happen.
I don't know.
But
I
that's
don't
not.
know.
This ain't the one. This ain't the match so that they're gonna try to flip it on its head.
Could
Um,
be.
all right. With that being said, gonna go to the other opening match, the triple threat
I like
for
this
the
one.
world championship. So it's gonna be a great match. The build was weird.
I
Um,
don't know. I was engaged in this
they
shit,
made
to be
no,
honest.
they definitely made the most of it, but
But they dragged it. It's funny how they dragged it because it's like,
because
oh, surprise! It's a triple threat match. It's like,
we
nigga,
knew,
we knew
yeah,
that shit.
yeah, because Rhea should have never been involved in the first place. For being
hmm
honest, she had no
Yeah.
business. Like,
hmm
but again, I'm not mad at it. I definitely am with it. Honestly,
Well, Rhea should have been involved in it only because she just lost to Io. But then when she came and signed her name to the thing, they at that point they could have just rolled with it. Obviously, they had more TV time to fill, and out of all these people's schedules, that Roman's not full time, Cena's not full time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like two main storylines that aren't there every single week. Shit, they had some time to fill. So
yeah, no, it's very interesting. I don't know. I have a hard time. Nah, not really. I think Eel Sky just should just.
wins.
I think she retains. Um,
Oh. I think
yeah,
I got Bianca.
I think Io retains. I think Bianca loses, and she ends up
She takes a pin
helping.
and she goes heel.
She helping crashing out and go help Naomi. Fuck up Jade
I
after the.
think, yeah, I think what it's gonna end
I
up being is
think
that
Bianca's gonna crash
Bianca,
out and
yeah, she's gonna definitely crash out. She was wearing all
that's
black the other day.
still
That
there.
shit
So
means something. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you see that? I
yeah,
think it was Monday. All
Bianca
black.
crash out incoming.
That shit means something, bro. Like when you do those little subtle signs, like black, you know what they say.
Mhm.
No, I'm just kidding. You said,
I was like,
nigga, what are you talking about?
I was waiting.
I'm
I'd be like,
saying, bro, black.
"Hey,
I'm
I
just
like it.
saying, black probably means healed, bro. Like that's what I
Oh,
was gonna say.
yeah. I bet. I was thinking the same thing
That's what they say.
for sure. Yeah. Mm.
But nah, like I think I want to see Bianca win. It's been some years since she's had a championship of like a meaningful championship.
Yeah.
And I want to see her take a different turn to her character, go down, that dark path, and turn heel. Because I feel like she'd be a natural heel. You've seen how she was in
Yeah.
NXT, and it's definitely captivating. And just like how I said, Seth Rollins, she needs a little bit more of a change to her character. And I feel like we didn't get that change to her character only because John Cena turned heel. At Elimination Chamber. But I feel like that would have been a perfect time for
To your point,
Bianca to
that's why she got to
change it
lose.
up.
That's why she got to
Mm-hmm.
lose, crash out, and
Did
then
she crash out?
help Naomi beat Jade or at least beat Jade after the match and be like, "Yep, I knew the whole time." I
Mm-hmm.
feel that they were working together the whole time, and
Yeah.
now it's
I just feel like
now they
Bianca got put in this side of this bracket as far as because she's a SmackDown superstar. Yeah, she's a SmackDown superstar. I feel like she got put in this match for a reason, and I feel like it's to win it. You know, she won the Elimination Chamber. You know what I mean? Like it could have been anybody else. You
Mhm.
know, and they could have made somehow a triple threat with I don't know, Bianca Jade and Naomi if that's the route we wanted to go. So I feel like this is the case where hey Bianca got to go take that, and I want to see Bianca win over Rhea Ripley because Rhea Ripley's been getting way too much shine as of
Yeah,
recent, and
she's great,
I think
but
Bianca's the way bigger star.
ooh,
No
okay,
offense to Rhea Ripley, but Bianca got the show. You know what I'm saying? They both
yeah,
got a great look. They both got a great fan base. But you know what I'm saying? It's time to start showing some love to Bianca because she's
sure.
been what they've been saying, the female John Cena, Jane Cena. So
Jane Cena.
yeah, so let's get back to it. It's been a couple years,
Facts.
and Street Profits back on top. So you know,
Yeah, they got the unfortunately a match tonight, nothing on the card, but
yeah, that's whack.
it's a little
Hopefully
bit of
something changes. Hopefully that gets blown up or something,
we'll
and
see.
then it
They
gets
get added
interfered,
on.
and then they be like, "Oh, it's a ladder. Give us a ladder match." You know what
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying?
we
We're
haven't had
missing that
a match.
WrestleMania ladder match.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
So
you might have just predicted something. We'll see.
I,
We'll see what we get back on. It might be it might happen tonight, honestly.
I love you solo.
Speaking of, we gonna get to him. And you know what? We might as well get to that
Yo,
one
I've
now.
been I've been on a roll.
I was like, yep,
Let them transition somehow.
you just giving me my you just giving me my
For
transition now. Uh, forgot to put for the U.S. Championship, but we got LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship.
Ah, two.
To your point, he got to win it. They
Bro,
got it got to be Fatu.
has to.
And I like LA Knight. He's cool, but Jacob Fatu
Has to, bro. That nigga is
he a
a
dog.
dog, bro.
He a dog.
I love Jacob Fatu. And it's so funny, bro, because where the hell is Solo? You know what I'm saying? Like, that boy, Jacob Fatu. And that's what they talked about the rumors being. They're like, oh, if they get paired together, they think that Fatu is going to outshine Solo. And that's exactly.
He was from the beginning. Honestly, that was the
Yeah.
problem.
And they were suppressing him so much because all he was saying was, I love you, Solo. And that got over like crazy. Like, everybody was saying that shit. So it's like, it don't matter what he did, he was gonna get over.
Mm-hmm.
So you know my answer.
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, definitely interested to see what night this goes on.
I think LA Knight needs to
I
go
would,
to Raw. He needs
I
to
would
shake up. 'Cause I think they're gonna do a draft after Mania. He needs to shake up because I don't see anything left for him on SmackDown.
mhm.
Um, so he might be able to go fight for the World Heavyweight
I'm
Championship,
about
the
to say, yeah,
Intercontinental Championship,
yeah,
and so on. So
yeah.
mhm,
I'm with you on that for sure.
yeah,
That'd be the way to go. Um,
because he's
oh
still over as hell. So,
yeah, no,
and I
he's
think he could play either role of being a heel, a face, and I think they'll have him be the type of heel that he'll be the cool heel that kind of like Kevin Owens when he's a heel, like he'll do bad things and people still cheer for him or whatever, but or they boo him, whichever, but it doesn't matter. He's going to do such great work that you know
yeah, no,
he's going to be a prominent player.
yeah, I think ultimately though that he your point of him trying for the heavyweight championship, I agree, but it needs to happen like now
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
like sooner
Before he
or
starts
later.
cooling down, but hey, he's
Yeah,
been hot for a minute. But
sooner.
I don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't need to take that for granted.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm definitely like you're good, but it's he's not
It's
cooked.
been a while now. He's gonna start cooling down.
So, I like him though. I definitely
Hmm.
think I don't think the loss is going to hurt him too much. Two-time U.S. champion. Now you go for
And
the
the
now
Jacob Fatu is like,
you go for the big.
how
Yeah,
could you
exactly,
win?
exactly. And now you go for the big one. So,
Hmm.
and Jacob Fatu can defend against whoever.
Yeah.
That's going to be some good matches.
Hmm.
Um, all right, we got the other mid card title there. Um,
Hmm.
this one easily match of the night potential.
Yeah.
Just from everybody involved. I really want Penta to win.
I know who I want to win.
That's my want. Just because he's like my new favorite
He's
wrestler
gonna be,
right now.
yeah, he's lit. I like him, bro. His whole
From
vibe.
from like honestly, I'm very torn on this one because Dominic winning would be pretty fucking dope because that's just gonna cause more shit within the Judgment Day, him and
Hmm.
Finn, and then
That's
it's just
exactly what. That's
it's just good.
exactly where they're going.
It's just good for a Mysterio. So I would totally would be stoked if Dominic won, especially if he pins Finn or Penta. Like Braun doesn't lose anything from
Yeah.
Finn. And to your point, Braun can move up to heavyweight.
Yeah. I
Just
mean, if
like
Jay ends up winning,
this
indeed, Braun is probably one of Jay's
first.
things that he's going to be running into. It might be the person that takes the belt off of Jay, to be honest. Because
Very
I
well.
mean, realistically, it's hard to have a baby face um, like Jay carry that title for a long time. You
No,
know what I mean?
and he won't. I don't think he'll have a long reign.
Hmm.
But unlike Kofi, unlike Ray, it has to be good. He has to at
Hmm.
least they have to at least make it good. The problem with Ray and Kofi, Vince treated them like they were fucking a mid Carter when they had to
Yeah,
get
I was gonna say like an intercontinental champion.
like
Yeah.
when it's no, bro. Like you're not
Hmm.
supposed to lose 2-3 matches in a row. First of all, you're not supposed to have that many matches if you're the champion. That's just
Hmm.
how it always works. But for some reason, Vince always liked when it was a little
Because
guy.
they're the fighting champion. They're
Yeah,
supposed to overcome these
yeah,
obstacles,
but
and then
once it
they see some type of obstacles, and they can't overcome it, and they can't overcome it, and then they win it at the big one, when it matters, and that's supposed to be the
yeah,
storyline. And it's like it's too repetitive. Like
it's
it's
a
too
tired
like
trope at this point.
yeah.
That's why Cody
Hmm.
being as successful as he has says a lot because
Hmm.
we've been
Yeah,
beating
you
it home.
booking them like a champion. You booking them like a John Cena. You booking them like a Hogan, like a Harley Race. You know what I mean? Like the champion, they face adversity. They absolutely face adversity, but they overcome it. And they do it time and time and time
And
after
you
again.
always believe that they will overcome it.
Mhm.
You're not doubting it.
Or you might have doubts, but at the end of the day, you're like, all
Oh
right,
yeah,
he's gonna
yeah.
power through. So it's
Right.
yeah.
So who you?
But
So
it's
who?
like in this match, what I'm thinking, I'm thinking Dominic Mysterio. because obviously we want to see some of that Judgment Day dissension. Judgment Day has overstayed their welcome by far. You know what I mean? It's been tired. It's been watered down even a little bit before they kicked out Rhea and Damian Priest. So they definitely need to blow that shit up immediately. And I think Dominic Mysterio is going to be the conduit to do so. And it's just going to stir everything up. That allows Braun Breaker to break off and do his own thing. That also allows Penta, hey, he can live to fight another day. You know, he doesn't have to get pinned. He can live to fight another day, stay within that mid card bracket. He could be a future opponent for Dominic Mysterio as well. But I think Dom has, with the type of heat he's been getting, it's
He's
kind of
earned
put
it.
a real, yeah,
He's
it's kind of put give him a real WrestleMania moment,
a
a
real
real
championship.
WrestleMania victory, and a real championship. Absolutely.
Yep. No, it's hard to argue. You put it out there, and you know me as a Mysterio,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it.
Yep.
But
Maybe
I'm
Jay Mysterio.
right. I'm gonna give a different angle here. I'm gonna give it a different vote. Just we want to give the listeners and everyone out there just some different options. See what we're thinking. So for me, I'm gonna go Penta winning, and reason being, him with Ray Phoenix doesn't have the same singles cachet yet. I mean, granted,
Not
it's only
yet, yo.
periods, but from the moment Penta came out, I was sold.
Mm-hmm.
I was sold on Ray Phoenix, but not to the same
Yeah.
level, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. You know. So with
Mm-hmm.
that being said,
It seems so wash and repeat for
I
Ray
think
Phoenix
now
too.
I think now you capitalize on Penta being a single star, and then eventually you get to the tag team down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if he doesn't win, then what reason do you have to not pair them together?
Yeah.
You do. You can pair them together, and then we got to wait to see it again. I want to. I'm good with seeing this shit now. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with seeing a Penta single run now. I ain't gonna lie. So that's my pick right there. Have him win now. Let him go on his little mid card run. After he loses it, he can team up with his brother. In a few months. But for right
I
now,
like it. I like it, but you know what I mean. Like WrestleMania, at least in the last couple of years, it's definitely been like a start of new storylines. So I feel like this is going to be a start of that Judgment Day dissension. I like the idea though, because I love Penta.
well, to your point,
And
it can
just
still
like you
happen.
said,
It can
yeah,
still happen
it absolutely could still happen.
because
But I think
him.
Dom deserves that. Dom deserves that shit.
Yeah, no. I'm with you on that. And after hearing you say it, like officially, unofficially, that would be my where I would lean to. But I wanted to throw another
Nah, I
pick.
feel that. I feel
So,
that. Bro,
I'm,
but
I'm,
to speak
I'm
on that fact of what you said, Penta, bro, I'm a big fan. I love the vibe. That boy is so smooth. Ray Phoenix, same thing. It just seems too wash and repeat for me.
yeah.
I really wish they came in and maybe I don't know, bro, but like he I like his entrance music. I like his look. I like his in ring work. But it's just like I feel like I'm seeing Penta. He did it first. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And Penta, he looks more appealing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the
He just has more.
contacts, the
He has
face
that more
paint.
charisma. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Hmm.
and then you even hear him in the interviews with his broken English, just how he
Hmm.
sounds. The passion's there, and
Yeah.
it's
I think WWE missed a here's another transition. I feel like they missed an open door with Ray Phoenix having a role in the Grande Americano
yeah,
storyline.
yeah. No, I
And there's a perfect transition.
we got to there. So I
I
was
promise I don't be doing it on purpose, bro. But
you you you
this one was
you've
the
read,
closest to
you've
this
read
was the
my show
closest
notes
to the
clearly.
acknowledgement.
I didn't share the notes with him before this episode. I clearly I
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
to because he was already on point. But yes,
For
uh,
real.
yeah. It To your point, I found it funny that like there's something that's gonna come out of this. There's something's gonna happen. They're gonna take off his mask, and it's not gonna be Chad Gable.
Bro, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait, bro.
I want to know who the fuck it's gonna be and what happens, because we all clearly know it is Chad Gable up until this point.
No,
Under
it's
that,
not. I don't know shit, bro. I don't know anything, bro.
you don't know nothing, huh?
Just because they got the same back tattoo, that doesn't mean anything.
Just
And
because
just
they do
because we haven't seen
the
them in the
same
same
moves
place,
and they have the same mannerisms, and we
yeah,
haven't seen the same place.
exactly. He says thank you. It doesn't matter, bro. And Chad Gable had a doctor's note, bro. You think they would forge a doctor's note?
You're right.
Exactly,
That's
Jay.
the end all
Come
be all
on,
right there. You got me.
come on, bro.
The doctor's note said it all. You were my fault. But this match itself to that point is just fun. Obviously, my goat is has another match, so that's always great. Uh,
Well deserved too, because I swear to God, the minute I thought about it, I was like, "Damn, Rey Mysterio don't got a match." Then that same day he got the match. I was like, "Oh, you know
yeah,
what I mean?" Like, because I felt like it was so weird that it's like, okay, they're gonna have to force a match for Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, "Oh, they got this storyline going." All right, but you know,
there we
that same night,
go.
yeah,
Not gonna lie, I anticipated like I anticipate some kind of like there's gonna be an LWO and American Alpha or whatever they're
hmm
called. So not American
American Made.
American made. There's gonna be there's definitely gonna be some crossover there, but to the point, Ray Phoenix, like just being out there and introduced now, it's like to the point. Penta stays his own way. Can this be Ray Phoenix's introduction? But then it's like, nah, then you're putting him in, then you're kind of aligning him with Mysterio.
And
And
I
I,
don't think
and I don't
if
think
you
that's
get close to
the way
that
to go.
LWO, your career might be
I
it
don't, I
might
don't,
be on the downtake because Dragon Lee should have been man, Dragon Lee should have been putting on some bangers.
well,
Dragon
he does in ring. It's just that there's to the point. There's nothing to his matches whenever
mhm.
he
But
has
then
a
it's
match
like the L and then it's like, all right, you putting him too close to the LWO. But then again, hey, if he's against the LWO, I'm cool with. But I feel like they already kind of missed that boat with having him debut on SmackDown.
for
But
sure.
I really think he should have been the one, maybe the one that was training Chad Gable, or he should have been El Grande Americano. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure. Well, so definitely not going to see him at Mania, but we'll see after. He's probably going to start to shoot up and
yeah.
see what happens.
But
Also,
I got El Grande Americano for the record.
El, you know me. It's Ray all day, baby. And he wins, takes off the mask, and we find out it's not Chad Gable. I
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's true.
think
That's
that's the
true.
way to go. Uh,
hmm
uh, Forgot to mention this one, the other women's world championship match. We were just transitioning too well, you know. But
I was getting onto it, bro. To be honest, I was about to
it,
say it,
it, sure.
Jay.
So, uh, on the point of this one probably has the most like critics. I would say,
yeah.
um, just based on Charlotte and based on the
I feel
build
like
not
both the Royal Rumble winners, honestly.
based on the build not being all that great. Um, Honestly, there's been big debate. Their promo a few weeks ago, whether it was real or not. Where I feel like it was definitely both. Definitely work shoot. Charlotte's comment at the end about Kaiser was definitely her
Mhm.
her shooting
Well,
from the.
I think the moment I thought it was a shoot was when Tiffany clapped back and said because at first Charlotte said something about like that's power because everybody was saying woo or whatever,
Mhm.
and then Tiffany was like, "What time is it?" And everybody said it's Tiffy time, and then she's like, "No, that's power," and I was like, "Oh, all right, let's see where else this goes." And
That to
then
me, that was part of it, and then
Mhm. And then when Charlotte started kind of mocking Tiffany and like making fun of her voice and being like, "Oh, what'd you say, Tiffany? You're too high pitched and squeaky." And I feel like Charlotte, she has a habit of like not letting the person get their stuff in. and like talking over them and demeaning them to where it's like, yo, like how can I finish my promo when it's like, yo, you're trying to tear me down like this? You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to defend that and get back into storyline? So I feel like that did rub Tiffany the wrong way, and she used the same stuff that Charlotte, was saying, in real life interviews out in the press and the media, and she used that right against her immediately. And yeah, so I liked it, to be honest. I like it because sometimes that's what you need around WrestleMania, is that unexpected, sometimes that chippiness, and it shows the competitive nature between Tiffany Stratton as well too, because Charlotte's been trying to dog walk her the whole time on the
Mhm.
mic, and then obviously just whooping her ass every single time. So I like the fact that Tiffany, like, maybe in shoot or whether it was kayfabe, but she stood up for herself.
No, I feel it for sure. I agree. I definitely think honestly it's tough for me to pick a winner because from a character perspective, I think it does more if Stratton loses and gets it back. But it's like
And you know what they want to do.
nobody wants to see,
They want Charlotte to get her dad's record too. I think she's at 14, so she has to lose in order to get to 16.
mhm.
So I mean, now that
I
you
think
say
a
that,
way to do it, but I think you know that's my prediction. It's gonna be
because I
that's the
don't
way
think the
Charlotte,
storyline's over. I don't think the
you have
feud is
Charlotte
over.
win. You have Charlotte win now.
Yeah, Backlash
What's the next? Yeah, she can win at Backlash and then end it at
or
SummerSlam,
whatever else is after. Yeah,
and then or have the second match
SummerSlam might be a long stretch,
finish
but
it.
yeah, SummerSlam might be a long stretch, or maybe not. You know, what I mean, nowadays they do those long storylines anyway. So
I mean, it's not that far. It's end of August,
yeah.
September, SummerSlam. So
hmm
the Backlash is usually in May,
May.
June. So not that bad. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We got a few more matches to get through. Um, most of them of little consequence. AJ Styles, Logan Paul should be honestly a pretty good match.
Yeah, I think so. Competitor for match of the night.
Yeah, definitely should be a good match. Obviously, nobody wants to see Logan win. Um,
But
or
where? But why? What's the stakes? I mean, every match at Mania doesn't need to have stakes, but who takes the momentum and goes what? Why do they have whoever win? Are they in the match just for the star power alone? Maybe that's what it is. What does AJ get out of winning it? I don't know. I don't know. This match, I'm a little confused on who would win, to be honest.
to your questions, it would make sense for Logan to win. To answer your question,
hmm
uh, but it, it 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 is inconsequential. It really doesn't really matter either way too much. So I think it depends on the because night two should end with Cena with the bad guy winning. Even though it's gonna be weird because fans might cheer.
Yeah,
Um, it's with it being
man,
said,
this can be a huge
how they're
moment, bro.
planning it, it seems like this match is kind of like we're giving the fans what they want on everything else. We're gonna do something that is just gonna piss people off,
hmm
and there's a
Yeah,
match to do it.
this
Just
got to be one
one.
of those matches. Yeah, and
There's
I
a match.
mean AJ Styles. I mean he's going to be
He'll
the
be
type of
fine.
talent I think from kind of the now till the end of his career, because obviously he's winding down. I don't think so in the ring. He's still phenomenal.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But the thing is, it's like I think he's going to be in the mode of his career where he's going to be putting other people over a lot more than he goes over. So yeah, I guess Logan Paul.
Definitely. Oh, look at that. We talked about it when we were doing the triple threat.
I like it.
Um,
I love it.
but Jay Cargo, Naomi, that should be a great match. We got our
I'm
black queen
excited for this
one
match,
on one.
bro.
That's it's a great moment, right?
I am excited about this match.
It
I
should be a
love the
good.
Twitter beefs.
I
I
love
love
Naomi
the
as a heel.
promos. Yes, I
Like
love
great
Naomi as
fight.
a heel. I am Team Naomi. Naomi has to win this shit.
Yeah,
Plain and simple.
like I said, I think Bianca comes in and after this match is yeah, since again that match is starting the night, it makes perfect sense. Bianca loses, she's gonna end up coming to help Naomi to beat Jade. Or so with that being said,
I do wish they would add a stipulation to this match. Because for me, and I think it's kind of on record, Jade isn't the greatest
in
in ring
ring,
performer. So I mean, sometimes adding that stipulation helps them get carried through that match a little bit easier. It's not as structured, and I think that would help open that door for that to happen with Bianca coming in, interfering, and it not costing Naomi the win. Um, so hopefully something goes down tonight on SmackDown where they add that stipulation because it's never too late just to add the stipulation. So hopefully they throw in there, maybe a false kind of anywhere or something like that. Because remember how this match even got started? It was something that happened outside of the ring. So hopefully that's where they finish it.
I'm with you, and I hate to say it because it's Mania, but um, I think the way to hit all beats, honestly, in this is like I mentioned, have Bianca come out and Jade wins by DQ because she's getting her ass beat, and I just feel like that.
I
I
mean, it
do.
could extend the storyline too.
I
I
do.
think that's what they're planning on
I do
doing.
want to see Naomi, get a win, but exactly, I don't think this is over. Especially because I get it. I Bianca, I feel like Bianca's gonna get involved. Like Bianca's gonna reveal that she was involved. I do feel like that's gonna happen.
I think so too.
So with that being said, this doesn't end tonight, and how you further it is, it's like it's just a DQ.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
leave the
doesn't really
shit.
matter who wins,
Leave more crumbs left for us to
but for
eat.
but from the perspective of the real person, you're giving Jade that win in a sense, because like
Mhm.
coming from the new, coming from me, it's like, he's still being treated as the bigger star essentially.
Yeah,
So with that being said, it's like you're giving her a bone by having her win technically by DQ,
yeah.
but
It'll go for her WrestleMania record.
by
Mhm.
both of them. So it's like
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way to hit all beats of the story
No, I
and
agree
get
with that.
done. So we got the women's tag
I
team
don't
match.
give a fuck about this. Excuse my
Don't care,
language.
but Liv and Raquel got to retain. Only thing that makes sense. It's kind
Man, so
of
I
dumb
got
thing
beef with
Lyra
this.
being together.
I got a lot of beef with this. When Lyra Valkyria is the damn the
IC
women's
champion doesn't have a
intercontinental
match.
champion, why is she in a tag team championship match?
And Chelsea Green doesn't have a match either. So
Yeah. So it's like, why did you bring those titles out there?
and what
Like those
don't mean
titles are not even they're not even like they're being defended on a weekly basis. Like, put them on TV. We got 3 hours to kill on SmackDown. We got however many hours to kill on Raw.
that's supposed to be the
Like
point
2 hours.
you can switch on TV.
hmm Wait, say it again.
So that's the point of mid card titles. So
Yeah,
if
exactly. We can see
you
them on
want
TV
to have
and to
a title
fill
on
in
TV,
some spots, and
you know,
and we can be able to see other women or other superstars be able to get different, some shine. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Because it's like, why haven't we seen Lyra be able to go ahead and go against damn Alexa Bliss or somebody, you know what I mean? Or Chelsea Green versus Alexa Bliss, or you know what I mean? It's like, why are we bring back Alexa Bliss, and why do we have Dakota Kai, and we got Mia Michin, and all these other mid card, wrestlers that's out there, and they're not getting any chance. And we put that title out there, what, 4 or 5 months ago? At this point. So for this match, I could care less. Obviously, Liv and Raquel got to win, but it's like I don't even get why they did that.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Last two matches, street fight,
I like it.
Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. I love it. It's gonna be a hell of a match.
Drew got to
Um,
get the dub.
Yeah, I would say him getting his payback finally from last year. You
Mhm.
know, uh,
And
Damien
Drew, I
Taylor.
think Drew's a huge, huge star. And I think when Cody either retains or wins it back from Cena, that's Cody's next target. Or I mean, Drew is well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Drew's gonna go after Cody. Um, but yeah, Drew, he's been firing on all cylinders for the past 2 years. Ever since he entered Punk, it's been yeah, he's been killing it. So I think Drew needs to get the win. And he's been putting a couple people over the past couple months and so I think he needs to get that win.
yeah. I'm
It
with you.
does hurt Priest a little bit, but
I'll grease my body,
somebody's got to go.
but
Hmm.
he's he he was just champ last year. I feel like
Yeah.
he got his moment. They're gonna give it to
Hmm.
Drew now. But I'm not mad at it. To your point, might hurt him a little bit, but um, because I don't really know what's next for Priest after
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Maybe the
Um,
Wyatt six. Hopefully, like whenever they come back. 'Cause I think
if
Bo was hurt.
he's been cleared for a
Yeah,
little
he's
bit.
been clear, but they have to wait till after Mania to kind of get some storylines sparked again for certain people. So I think after that it's some White Six shit. Because it got to be something. Because White Six is at risk of going into obscurity. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, and I hope that doesn't happen for
yeah,
Bryce.
same
But
for break's sake.
all right. And the final match, we got the World Raiders versus the New Day. Um,
New Day.
I love the heel turn. It's just been
Me
so long
too.
since that heel turn, so it's
I
like I've
oh.
kind of been a little. I've kind of forgot, honestly. But yeah, New Day needs to win for
Hmm.
sure because that's the whole point of the heel turn. They felt
Yeah.
like they should have won the championships a minute ago. You
Way
know,
long ago. Because it's
so
like, oh, but was somebody hurt?
I don't not officially, not that I know
I
of.
think
I think one of them got
I
hurt
think either
initially.
Woods or
But
Kofi got
they've
hurt.
been they've been
I
good for
think
a little
so.
bit.
Hmm. But yeah, so I agree. New Day all the way. Obviously the heel turn, they had so much heat, and obviously it fizzled out a lot.
Yeah,
Because at the point, the level of heat that they had, I felt like Kofi or Xavier could have went after the world championship if they really wanted to. You
hmm
know what I mean? Like that's how much heat they had and how
yeah.
much
Now
tension.
now they got to
I was
rebuild it,
yeah.
and that's the problem.
Mhm.
I'm with,
Yeah.
and it's like it begs the question when we had the undisputed titles, we wanted two titles.
Hmm.
We got two titles.
But
Is
I
it
ain't gonna
better?
lie to you, bro. I think Triple H he's having a hard time with spreading the wealth. You know what I mean? And he was doing a really good job with it, but there's no absolute reason why the tag team championships have been so like pushed
Yeah,
off to the side, and why the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title has been,
as great
you
as
know what I
great as
mean?
Triple H has been, some things just never change.
Yeah, because it's like,
And
yo, like.
it, this has been the constant as long as we've
Mhm.
been fans. Let's be
Because
honest.
it's like, yo, like I would have been doing something with those type of titles. I feel like those need to be your TV titles, and obviously you can't defend it every single week on TV. But do a little bit more with it, and build up those divisions because, like SmackDown, I think the tag
Feel
team
like-
championships are in a much better spot.
Yeah, the actual
And
team,
yet,
you
yeah,
know.
and yet they're not in WrestleMania,
Yeah,
So I'm like, what the fuck,
yeah.
So.
No, I agree.
But hopefully the New Day will make this I mean, New Day immediately makes those tag team championships way more
Or so.
interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why it needs to get to them, and hopefully that's Triple H realizing and being like, okay, that's the reset button, and you can really build that division to be a main event
From
type
there.
division.
Yeah.
Because Sami Zayn and KO could have main evented WrestleMania off of those tag team championships. So could the New Day, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have to agree with you on that. So, yeah. So, think about your Mac and your phone being connected, and you don't sign your phone. When they call you, somebody calls you, kind of backed you up. So my fault about that. Kind of backed away. But, all right. So yeah, same. I got the New Day. It's just the way to go. I'm excited to see what goes on from there because up until now it's been it's been a little underwhelming since that heel turn, but one of my favorite in recent memory. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
so
it had me a little shook. I was like, damn, how you
not
saying that to
Biggie.
Biggie like that, bro? Yeah, don't do my
Fact,
dog like that.
facts. All right, G. That's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you.
Well, one more thing,
Oh,
actually.
what we got?
Who faces Randy Orton?
Ooh, oh yeah. It's
Nick Aldis?
Nick Aldis for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I think that's
He's
gonna
gonna
be good.
he's gonna get his WrestleMania moment finally because that's been talked about. He's talked
Hmm.
about like
Yep.
uh
And
so
it'd be interesting. That's the way it turns out because hopefully they could put on such a banger because to me, I've never followed Nick Aldis's career, right? But from just
totally
knowing of, yeah, exactly. But just knowing and just being a fan of the game, right? It's like I know like the type he was in NWA and held that 10 pounds of gold for a long time. He's almost synonymous with that title in the New Age run. He also had a good run in TNA. And it's like, okay, well, I'm sure he could put on a little banger classic with Randy
Mhm.
Orton.
Especially
You know
with
what I mean?
all people.
Exactly. And it being Randy Orton's 20th WrestleMania match. So it's like hopefully they do right by it, make that a nice cool surprise and a nice cool reveal. And then everybody show like, oh shit, like I didn't know the general manager got down like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, you're right. I never see that happening.
and if
Yeah.
it's not Nick Aldis, because obviously that's probably who it's going to be. But just for the shits and giggles, who do you think? Who else do you think it could be? You think it could be uh, Alistair Black? Don't make too much sense to me. Rusev don't make too much sense to me right here.
I'm trying to think.
And they kind of scared me a little bit when they brought out Solo Sikoa last week.
Yeah, to the point I don't. I don't know. It would have to be some kind of finality. There has to be some kind of tie with whoever's going to have that match,
Mm.
and I just don't see it. I'm trying to think. I think who's. I don't know.
Who
You
would
go
be returning?
out of it. I'm trying to
What
think.
if Kevin Owens? No, I don't think that's the
It's
case. I
not.
think
Yeah, it's
Kevin's
a
really
ruse and
hurt.
something out.
I've heard that that's the case.
Maybe Sami Zayn.
I've heard.
It's not Nick Aldis. Sami Zayn
Mhm.
got nothing to do. And
Damn, bro.
maybe he
Sami Zayn is not on the fucking
maybe he
card.
yeah maybe he
What
avenges Kevin
did
Owens.
something happen to Sammy? I mean, I know he kind of got written off, but fuck.
Nah, there's just nothing. He just hasn't been in shit. Like
Yeah. He got. I mean, he kind of got written off with the KO story, like with
yeah,
the was
yeah.
it Street Fight or whatever it was, like. But damn, like for Sammy not to have something on the card is wild.
So that'd be my pick, Sammy.
That's a good. That's a good. That's a good pick if it's not Nick Aldis,
Yeah,
because I definitely pick Sammy over
just because it'd
Aleister
be
Black or Rusev. Like those would make no sense.
yeah. No,
And
they would
they don't have the star power of Cody Rhodes coming back. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
They
yeah.
might make a pop, but not really because none of them have like iconic theme songs. So it's like
Hmm.
you got to kind of rely on the on
I mean, Aleister Black shit. They used to be fucking in NXT takeovers, bruh. They used to be snapping, singing his shit.
yeah. As a
I
day,
used to almost turn into that screamo shit.
it was good. I don't remember it anymore, but it was good. But yeah, so that'd be your surprise question, Nick Aldis. If not, um, yeah,
Same, same.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I agree.
Tells it there. Well, all right. Like I said, that's gonna do it for today's show. Again, want to thank you guys all for tuning in today. Oh, it's been a long one, but we definitely got a lot covered today. It's very entertaining. Towards the middle there, we got a little disagree about Punk. Definitely tune into that segment. It's always fun when you like to disagree. But yeah, we will link soon tomorrow, more than likely tomorrow or Sunday for this Mania.
I got one more thing for you to disagree on, my guy. Lakers in 5. Let's get it, boy.
Listen, all I know is Magic in 6. No. I'll
Play
be 7.
that song.
I'm gonna say 7. Magic in 7.
Play that song.
Jaylen Brown is hurt. And that's our leg up right there. He's coming in a little hobbled. He don't make it out of game 1. That's ours, baby. We gonna take down the defending champions round 1.
Hey,
so
he said it here first.
So
at the end of the day.
So
Lakers in 5.
All right, we gonna talk about that tomorrow. All right, y'all. See you later.